Everybody, welcome to week 6. Week 6 is the second full week of Excel. So we're spending a lot of time this term on Microsoft Excel. So last week we focused a little bit more on the charts and graphs, and largely the work I saw on that charts and graphs assignment was quite good. So hopefully you got a lot out of that. Now this week it's a little different in that the assignments that are going to be graded are not Excel related, but I'd still highly recommend that you do the assignments in that pause and practice or the practice file. Now these are going to be more specific to Microsoft Excel's formulas and functions. So formulas and functions, I'll let you kind of learn a little bit more about them, and I am going to be posting a number of videos, so just keep your eyes peeled for those. But these are great because Excel is more than just a place to collect data and organize data and then present it in some fancy way, kind of all polished looking in a chart or a graph. Excel has a lot of features that allows you to really just save tons of time. And the best way to kind of show people that is through the formulas that it has. Now they can be as basic as just adding up. They have an auto sum function. You can do that a number of different ways. Adding up columns or rows of information, but you can average things, you can pull certain things out, you can actually highlight certain elements in certain cells based on a formula that you can write. Now we don't get too in depth in the formulas here, but it's good for you to get a good solid understanding, a solid grounding in these, because many of you are going to find a lot of value with these formulas and functions down the road in your job, even in your personal life. So to that point, that's what we're going to be doing in this week's discussion board. So in the discussion board, if you haven't gotten in there yet or you're just getting in now, we're talking about really the uses of Excel in the professional world, but also in the personal world. Like, how are we going to use this at home? Are there ways of using Excel and kind of harnessing it for the things that you do at home with your kids and with your maybe meal preparation, or with the volunteer work you do at your church or something? And well, yeah, the answer is yes. There's plenty of opportunities, and one of the ways that you really can hit this and really kind of see the value that Excel has and offers is through the formulas that they have there. So many students will talk about, I do this, I develop a chore chart for my kids at home or something. That's great. And maybe there's something associated with, like in our house, we have a chore chart, but we also, yeah, that's kind of how our kids earn their allowance. So maybe you need to kind of add up how much money in a month you have to pay out to your kids for mowing the lawn and taking out the trash and, sweeping the floors or whatever may be the case in your house. So formulas in Excel make that very, very easy. Now I'm not going to get into it again in this video, but I will be posting other videos that shows you how easy it really is. So make sure that you are really trying to get in there and understand this, because these things really can benefit you. Frankly, it doesn't matter what kind of job it is, really can benefit you though going forward. So that's what we're going to be doing in the discussion board. Now, for the assignments that are due, that are required, that are going to be graded this week, there are two, and they are associated. So we talked a little bit about the ACT assessment last week. I just touched upon it. The ACT assessment is this test that you're going to take not only in this class, but in other classes, that helps to gauge your career readiness. So in this class, we're focusing on information retrieval, information literacy, and it's going to be a rather long, multiple choice, rather complex test that you're going to be taking. Now, don't worry about that. If you're looking at this and you're freaking out saying, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? I'm going to totally fail. Don't worry. The ACT assessment has questions that range from everything from like high school level questions all the way up, frankly, to doctoral level questions. It is not expected that you get 100 on this. In fact, I don't know if I've ever had a student get 100. Now, everyone's grade is going to be curved. Everyone's, okay? So whatever grade you have at the end, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm pulling out your hair and everything, it's not going to stay that way, okay? So your grade will be curved, okay? So don't worry about that. Just do the best you can. It's supposed to be hard, okay? It's supposed to be hard, but see this as a part of a greater whole. So when you get this National Career Readiness Certificate, you realize that there's real value to this, okay? But you have to get through these little pieces. One of them is in this class in order to get that NCRC at the end of your time at Bryant Stratton. Now, associated with the ACT assessment itself is a reflection on the ACT assessment. This is a short written piece. This is just like a reflective essay. And all you're going to do is you're going to follow the instructions that are given to you for that assignment in Blackboard. Now, I got to tell you, you have to follow the instructions. There is a rubric attached to this, and I have to follow the rubric when I'm grading your work. So make sure that I think it highlights 3 different things that you need to be looking for and kind of analyzing, or 3 or 4 different pieces in your kind of a self-assessment of the act reflection. You need to address all of those. If you don't, you're going to lose points. If it's just like, oh, I took this and it was kind of hard, but I'm glad I took it, and I hope that I learn a lot going forward, that's going to earn you very few points. You need to make sure that you're addressing those key prompts, those key questions in the instructions for that reflection. So that's what you're going to be doing. We're going to be talking about Excel, but you're not going to really be graded on Excel. So I'd highly recommend going into the practice assignments, doing those. Don't worry if the practice assignment says send this or upload it to Blackboard. Those were instructions that should have been taken out probably a term ago and we just didn't do it. Just look at your work and then compare that to the solution file that is there in that folder. So any questions, you know where to reach me, folks. You can call me, you can text me, you can Skype with me, especially on Wednesday night from 7 to 8. But of course, what most people do is email. So you can email me and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Keep doing the work you're doing, keep working hard, and let me know if anything comes up. Thanks.